this, I'm just going to tell you all Merry Christmas again in case I forgot. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. Hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. Listen, so I am coming off of a 2-week series called The God I Wish You Know. I Wish You Knew. Before that, I talked about the fact that you have what it takes. But this entire year has been about becoming. This entire year, from January to today, to present day, it has been about our year of becoming. Not pretending to be something you are not, but becoming who it is God has called you to be. Right? Not simply about elevation, but about transformation. Right? I said this all year long. I want to be clear about it. I want to end in a similar way that I started. Because I want you to be clear. God's plan for your life requires you to become who He called you to be. He has a plan for your life, and your journey began before you were born. Are we clear on that? Yes, sir. See, I don't want you to think you're some cosmic accident. You were born on purpose and with purpose. Your life has a purpose. There is something that God desires for you to do. Some things in some places He desires for you to go. And I can't go any further if I do not make sure you at least understand the baseline of that. Does that make sense? I said very clearly in that last series that the Creator always creates a thing with an intention. He has a purpose for you, some work, something He desires for all of us to do and to accomplish. I went as far as to say a certain stretch throughout this year that the world is waiting for a people who will actually step into their God-ordained purpose and assignment and run towards their purpose. Amen. Right? So now that we understand that, I want to be clear about it. It's not as simple as it sounds because there's levels to it.
Come on.
So I'm going to tag our exchange today. There's levels to this. Because some of us think that because I said I want to live in purpose, I'm going to hit my purpose.
That's good, sir.
And there's levels to this.
That's good.
Some of us think that because I said a prayer once, that was the one-time catch-all to it, and as a result of my one-time prayer, I just drop it like a bomb and everything happens like magic. I want to tell you, there's levels to this. Okay. Are we good so far? Yeah. That I've said all year long that what is for you must be fought for. What is for you must be fought for.
Yes, sir.
Are we good there?
Yes.
Because you are more than what you've done, more than where you've been. And I said to start the year that this year had the potential, the capability to change your life if you allow God to let you do it. And for some of you, you are a walking testimony of that being true. Everything didn't change, but everything changed in 2019. Let me see if I can unpack that a little bit. Everything you may have wanted to change didn't change, but for those who chose to embrace it as a year to become something different, everything on the outside might not have changed, but there was a chance that everything on the inside of you began to get stirred up. That you began to at least believe that maybe, just like, which one was that inside of the Wiz? I think I can. You all of a sudden something hits you and you say, maybe I can become.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you, there's levels to this. I told you to start the year, in order for you to get there, you got to be willing to have those non-judgmental conversations with yourself, about yourself, and that if you're going to pursue elevation, you can't just pursue elevation because it doesn't just mean going higher. It means evolution, becoming better.
Come on.
Right? We clear? Because if you're going to really understand today's message, you got to have this baseline foundation for the fact that all of us can become who God intended, but it's not going to just happen automatically. It takes intention.
Yeah.
It takes intentionality to become who He called us to be. And it doesn't just take intentions, it takes direction, moving towards it.
Yeah.
You can intend to do good, but if you go the wrong way, it won't happen. You can intend to go toward Woodfield Mall, but if you go 88 West, you're not going to get there. I want to be very clear about intentions. You can intend to go to Woodfield all you want to. You go 88 West, you're not going to hit it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's direction, not just intention, that determines my destination. But again, I want to communicate this idea because as you move into this one right here, you've got to know this. The Bible is clear in Proverbs 29:18. It's not on the screens yet. Proverbs 29:18. You got to know this. Write it down. Find it in your Bible. Go to it in your app if you need to. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Yes, sir.
Where there is no vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29, where there is no vision, the people perish. Well, if that's the case, Rev, are you telling me that it's not enough for me to set goals? I got to have a clarified vision?
Amen.
Why aren't my resolutions working? Why can't I keep going the way I thought I would keep going? Because I knew I needed to make a change, but I didn't actually make the change. Is it possible some of us don't necessarily have a resolution issue while I've got sentiments around resolutions? We have a vision problem.
Come on.
Because where there is no vision, the people perish. Let me see if I can work it this way. If I was to ask you this question, if money were no object to you, what would you do with the rest of your life? Some of you would answer that with buying a bigger car. Some of you would say you'd buy your dream house. Some of you always say you'd buy this other stuff, and I've told you before, I don't think there's anything wrong with some stuff that's materialistic. However, if that's the only answer you would give in a response to what you would do if money was not an object, I want to suggest that your life has some vision problems. Because I can tell you wholeheartedly, without a shadow of a doubt, without any doubt in my mind, that when I figured out, again, I don't always like this call I get. Let me be clear about that. I like some of y'all, I love most of y'all because I'm supposed to love y'all, but I don't really like the nature of my call. Because it's difficult.
Yeah.
But I want to be clear, I'm so tapped into it at this stage, if money was no object, I'd be able to do this without worrying about anything else. I wouldn't stop pastoring.
Yeah.
Come on.
Thank God.
Right? If money was no object, I feel like I could live my life's calling. I could be the best husband, I could be for my wife, best daddy, I could be for my kids, and I could be the best pastor for the church without worrying about money.
Come on.
Right?
Yeah.
But here it is. That's clear vision. I do empowerment. That's what I do. Where you going to do empowerment?
Come on.
Is it possible that some of the stuff we're checking off on the box is because you're not as clear as you think you are? Because if money was no object, would you live out your life's purpose without worrying about whether or not you had to pay Capital One? Sally Mae, the IRS. Because some of y'all on the run. So where there is no vision, the people perish. But I want to show you in this translation right here, look how it says it here. Where there is no revelation, people cast off restraint. But blessed is the one who heeds wisdom's instructions. Look at it in the Message Bible though. Message Bible says this way. If people can't see what God is doing, they stumble all over themselves. But when they attend to what he reveals, they are most blessed. Is it possible you're not living your blessed life because you're not as clear as you should be? See, part of the problem is you get the stuff you asked for, but it wasn't really what you wanted. And so when you get it, now you're ready for the next thing.
Yeah.
Because you weren't as clear as you thought you were. Because it didn't push you toward purpose, it pushed you toward what you wanted at the moment. And so when I say there's levels to this, I'm talking about purpose. I'm talking about walking into 2020 saying, I don't know what my purpose is, but I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I'm not quite there yet, but I do want to figure it out before I die.
Okay.
Purpose. And if you want to see what purpose looks like, I want to be very clear about this part right here. Everyone is going to end up somewhere.
Yeah.
Few people end up somewhere on purpose. I think that's on the screen for those who take notes. Everyone. It's not mine. I don't know where I got it from years ago. It was in my notebook. But it was so good. I want to be clear. I want y'all to go ahead and say it. I said, you can say I said it because I know y'all know who said it, so give me credit. But everyone is going somewhere. But few people go somewhere on purpose. It is this idea that everybody's going to live, but not everybody's going to live and fulfill their purpose. Yeah, we all gonna wake up until we die. But how we live between when we wake up and when we go to sleep is up to whether or not we live in purpose. Because some of us wake up tired and we go to bed tired. We tired at work. We tired with the kids. We tired when we shopping. We tired when we supposed to be real life. We just tired. Tired. How you doing? Tired. Is that God's intention for our life?
Not at all. Come on.
Is fatigue a word he uses to describe the life of the believer?
Not at all. Go ahead.
Preach.
And if that's not the case, I don't want to lead a group of people who are settling for fatigue when he's calling us to purpose. But purpose brings you joy. So when some of y'all make me mad, I go read the cards to those who still love me. Balance. I find my joy again.
Yeah. Come on.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Everyone ends up somewhere. A few people end up somewhere on purpose. Let me give you this passage of scripture that I'm going to use as a springboard for our conversation today, and then we'll get out of here. It's Acts chapter number 20, verse number 22 through 24 is the springboard. It's a story. It's a picture of purpose manifesting itself. It's someone having a sense of clarity toward their calling and understand the nature of their calling. Doesn't mean everything will be perfect, but it does understand that purpose will lead me toward fulfillment. And let me be clear about this. When I say without a vision, people perish, it's so clear. This is so mission critical for those who happen to be leading families, whether you're leading a family as a male of the household, leading a family as a strong sister leading your household. Without a vision, the people perish. Where are we going? I read a book this year that changed my life in so many ways. It was a book called Principles by Ray Dalio. It says you ought to make decisions before you make decisions. It means you can't. It means you can have anything. You can have everything you want, but you can't have it all at the same time.
Yep.
So you pick what's most important and you prioritize your life around what's important. Because some of us say family is everything, but our life don't look like it.
Come on.
Man, this is all I love, and this is what gets the least of your time. Vision, I'm talking about vision, I'm talking about clear, I'm talking about direction. And if you're going to accurately and adequately understand that, you gotta understand this principle. This principle is that a lack of clarification produces stagnation. A lack of clarification produces stagnation. What does that mean, Rev? It means this. It means when I'm not clear, I'm slow. The definition of ignorant is to mean I don't know. And once people are ignorant, they're not going nowhere. So a lack of clarification produces stagnation. Why is this relevant? Why is this the message for us going into 2020? Because some of y'all want to accomplish stuff in 2020, but if you don't get clear about it in 2019, 2020 is going to look just like 2018 did.
In the house.
Yeah, if you don't get clear. I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday. Me and Jerry were in the car. We're like, man, 2020 look crazy already. I'm like, I know. But it's fulfillment. It's things that matter. It's what we want to get done.
Come on.
Yes.
Am I making sense? And sometimes we only make decisions based upon what's not working, but what do you want to work? And you figure out what you want to work, and you make a plan for how you want it to work. Not what's not working. I know you broke. How you get unbroke though? Why are we making broke plans? Let's get unbroke.
Make it plain. Make it plain.
Teach, Pastor.
I'm doing this thing. The Lord wrecked my whole calendar already for next year. I'm doing this thing starting next month called Empowerment University. And we're going to walk through what this thing means to live life at another level, because there's levels to this.
Yes, it is.
So we're going to talk about what it means to get our money right. We're going to talk about what it means to get our life right, to get our health right, to figure out what this kind of means. Because we have this culture here that I'm going to start talking to y'all a lot more about. This is H7 culture. We're talking about what it means to be humble and healthy and honest. What it means for us to be hospitable to people and honorable. To talk about what that means, because that's the fulfilled life. I don't want you to just come to church. I want you to be fulfilled. And I was talking to somebody, it was a couple weeks ago, and they were like, yo, bro, the stuff you talking about dealing with at your church, that's like life coaching. I'm like, no, that's not life coaching, that's life transformation. That's what I believe the word does. I believe the word does not just take me from where I am but and make me modify behavioral modification. But it's actually life transformation. I don't just stop doing what I was doing, I stop doing it on purpose.
Jesus. Yes. Yes.
Am I making sense?
Yes.
Lord Jesus, I don't. Let me see if I can work through this. I told you that clarification, lack of clarification produces stagnation. The adverse to that is that clarification should produce some form of acceleration. So when I become clearer, I should be able to go further faster.
Okay.
So if I'm not clear, I'm slower. I don't move as fast. But when I'm clearer, I should be able to go faster, further.
Yeah.
Because I can see it differently. So without a vision, the people perish. So when I don't quite know where I'm going, I just kind of do, and everybody's doing their own thing. It's kind of like how the country's ran right now, right? It's just everybody's kind of doing their own thing. It's just have your way. But when you figure this out, you're able to approach 2020 differently. Where are you going in 2020? Where is your family going in 2020? What will be accomplished through you in 2020? What's going to happen in 2020? And the word that God gave us for this house is that things are going to get better. Yeah, this was last year. This year was our year of becoming. Next year is our year of better. It's the year where God continues to clarify. Becoming was about clarifying who I haven't been. Better is about saying, okay, now that I know, I got to be better.
Yes.
Yeah, see, y'all might hear us say this a whole lot next year. Do better. Why you do that? Do better. Because some stuff is, when you know better, you ought to do better. Am I making sense? Here it is though. So if that's the word God gave us for this house, if I believe that we're going to get better, if I believe lives are going to get better, and marriages will get better, and people's alignment is going to get better, and our operations will get better, if that's the word God gave us for this house, you have to know He did not connect you to this spiritual family just to leave you where you are. He brought you here because the vision for this house should be, in some ways, parallel with the vision for your house. And that means I believe your life is going to get better.
Yeah, come on.
Because the church can't get better and your life stay the same. Something is wrong with that house. If I believe the word He's given us is to how it is that we help people live better and grow better and get better, it means your life ought to be made better as a result of that manifestation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might be in the wrong house. Is it possible? I don't want to go there because I might be able to leave like I'm out there. But it's possible for you to not understand that dynamic. Let me give you this story right here because I didn't get lost. Acts chapter 20. It says, and now, compelled by the Spirit, I'm going to Jerusalem, not knowing what will happen to me there. I only know that in every city the Holy Spirit warns me that the prison and the hardships are facing me. However, I consider my life worth nothing to me. My only aim is to finish the race and complete the task of the Lord Jesus has given me. The task of testifying to the good news of God's grace. Let me be very, very clear here. There are 4 levels that I'm arguing purpose requires. 4 levels purpose requires. Here it is. The first one is this. Purpose requires compelling promptings. Compelling promptings. Acts chapter 20, verse number 22 says it this way. It says that he was compelled by the Spirit. He was compelled by the Spirit. Some of you all move off your own impulses, and that's where you're wrong at all the time.
Yeah. Come on.
You're like, I like this. Yeah, but are you good at it? I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about some of your prayer requests. It's like, you're not good at it. It would be like me saying I want to be an NBA player all of a sudden. And it's like, yeah, you should have did that. You're kind of past that. You're kind of past that. Here, the Spirit compels. Bill Hybel writes this incredible book on this called Holy Discontent. It's this thing on the inside of you that sees something wrong and wants to fix it. See, there's sometimes where this prompting that the Spirit will give is where you'll see something wrong and it'll bother you to a degree, and you just like, if it was me, if that was mine, if I could do that, I would fix this. Could it be the Spirit's prompting you?
Right.
Glory to God.
Because there's some stuff that don't bother me, right? It's like, and if it doesn't bother me, I know it wasn't my thing. That's not my way. That's not my unction.
Yo.
Right? There's some people that I don't feel called to kind of help in a degree, and so it's like I can walk past and be like, okay, the Lord's gonna send somebody else to. Like, does that make sense?
Yo.
Right? I got clear about kind of that stuff. Compelled by the Spirit. What's keeping you up at night? And I'm not talking about your bills. Your bills keep you up at night because that's something you need to be compelled about fixing that. But what's bothering you? What are you waking up thinking about, dreaming, thinking about? What is that thing that you feel compelled? It's the Spirit's prompting. It's God trying to reveal something to you. The Holy Spirit is still speaking. Are you listening? Are you ignoring? Are you disregarding this prompting? Paul says, look, I was so compelled by the Spirit. Compelled. I was bound. I was wrapped up. I had to do it. I was convicted by it. I was compelled. That makes sense? Purpose requires having compelling prompting. Because if you don't have a compelling prompting, when it gets hard, you're going to quit.
Yo.
You got to be able to go back to that prompting and be like, but God, you said. But God, this was you. I was so convinced it was you, even when it didn't make sense, I kept going because I knew it was you. Compelled by the Spirit. Number 2, here it is. Compelled by the Spirit. Number 2, purpose requires this level of certain unpredictability. See, because some of us think that purpose means I'm going to have all the answers, I'm going to know where I'm going, I'm going to know how it gets down. But that's not the case. Purpose requires a level of certain unpredictability. Paul says, man, I was compelled by the Spirit. I'm going to Jerusalem, but I'm going not knowing what will happen to me there.
Yeah. That's good, Pastor.
There's a level of certain unpredictability connected to purpose. And some of y'all don't want to step into purpose and you feel like you gotta have all the answers. You won't have them.
Yeah. Make it plain, sir.
But if I leave him, well, how am I gonna know that God's gonna send me the right one? You don't. But you know he ain't worth nothing. So there's a certain degree of unpredictability. If I leave this job, if I leave this place, and God, I know you're prompting me to do it, but how will I know? There's a level of certain unpredictability about this thing.
That's right.
If God said it, that's all I need. Because there's a certain level of unpredictability. Am I making sense?
Amen.
Oh, man. Number 3. There's a level of predictable contention. Predictable contention. What's that word mean, Rev? I'm glad you asked. I know some of y'all don't quite have a dictionary, are you? Contention. It is this idea of resistance, trouble, tension. There's a level of predictable contention. Purpose requires obstacles to kind of get in your way. Walking with God wakes up the enemy more. So I ought to expect it. When I'm walking on the level toward purpose, I ought to know that there is a certain level of contention coming. Paul said, look, I don't know what's going to happen. That's the certain unpredictability. But I only know in every city, the Holy Spirit is warning me, man, prison of hardship facing me. Do you see it?
Yo.
There's predictable contention. I know because I'm living the life God called me to live, this is going to be tough.
Yo. Come on.
I know because I'm living the life God called me to live, that everybody won't go through what I go through. Certain predictability. certain resistance. It's this idea of predictable contention. I ought to at least know. Sometimes we wake up and we be like, "Man, why is this happening to me?" Because you called.
Yes. Yes.
I hate to be the one who has to tell it to you like that, but it's happening to you because he made you to grow through it.
Yeah.
It didn't catch him off guard. He super intended for it to happen. And if he didn't intend for it to happen, he's using it to develop something in you, because some stuff he doesn't make happen, but he allows it to happen.
Yeah.
Romans 8:28, he allows it to happen. And then he says that all things are being worked together for your good.
Amen.
Yes.
Predictable contention. He said, look, in how many cities?
All.
In every city the Spirit wants me. Prison and hardship. It means everywhere I go, trouble's gonna find me. Everywhere I go. Now, let me see if I can I say this to you how I really feel it? This thing ain't gonna be easy.
Yeah. Preach, Pastor.
Life and life the King's way ain't easy. Life ain't easy by itself, let alone the King's way. Because when I do life the King's way, God's way, Jesus' way, when I follow the Master's plan, it leads me to want to cuss people out, and I can't cuss them out from doing it the King's way. So it's hard enough when you make me mad and I want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, want to.
It's nothing when I want to and I can't punch you in the face because I feel like it.
Yeah. Come on.
Predictable contention. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because some of us give up on purpose because it's hard. It's going to be hard one way or the other. Some of y'all ain't tried nothing productive all year. Was your life any easier because of it? Do you feel more fulfilled at the end of the year? You don't feel no closer to anything than you did before. You might as well try. That's kind of my resolution. It's like, I might as well. It's going to be hard anyway. And let me be clear about this. Again, let's talk about this spiritual family. We are a unique church.
Yeah.
In a very churched community.
Yeah.
So we are a church that should predict contention. There are certain things that I just expect to happen. It's just going to be hard to do non-conventional church in an area where everybody like church. Churchy church. Churchy church. It's predictable contention. It's going to be hard. Does that make sense? Predictable contention. Number 4. It requires uncommon clarity. Uncommon clarity. It means I got to be clearer than everybody else when I'm not fulfill my purpose. It means I can't let you tell me and dictate toward me if you're not called inside to walk me through this. Because some of y'all got some people in your ear and they can't get their own life together. They lost, they confused, they tripping, they all confused, all by themselves, and you listening to them as your trusted advisors. Who are you? I need uncommon clarity. I need to be able to, do you know another word for uncommon clarity? Discernment.
Yes.
Uncommon clarity. I need to be so clear, if nothing else, clear on who I'm not. That was our year of becoming. I'm clear on who I'm not, and I'm becoming clear on who I am. Uncommon clarity. Everybody else ain't working toward that degree of emotional health and maturity, but you got to because you uncommon. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Uncommon clarity. Where do you see that, Rev? I see it right here. Paul says, however, I know prison and hardship are facing me. However, I consider my life worth nothing to me. My only aim, I'm uncommonly clear, my only aim is to finish the race and complete the task that the Lord Jesus given me. My only aim, I'm so clear, my only aim ain't to please me, it's to finish the race and complete the task He gave me. My only aim. I'm so clear on that. That anything else I do is a sidebar, but I'm clear on purpose. Uncommonly clear. Uncommonly clear. Number 5, it's not up there. This one is free. Number 5, I got to be committed to completing. I guess there's 5 levels to it. Sorry, 5 levels. I wrote this one sitting on the side. Committed to completing. Some of us, we're decent starters, we're just terrible finishers.
Jesus.
Come on.
Some stuff you should stop, but some stuff you need to keep going.
Yeah.
And some stuff you stop because you haven't stopped the other stuff. So you're too tired to do what you should be doing, so you stop doing what you should be doing because you do other stuff you shouldn't be doing. That's not fulfilling you or growing you or stretching you.
Yes.
Getting our
I
house.
was talking to my pastor a couple weeks ago, and we were just talking about development, and I was like, I kind of don't know where I can fit something that we were talking about, and he's kind of on the development tip. He was like, well, you're not committed to growing. Because if you're committed to growing, you'll realize that what you need to work on is going to get you to where you want to be. So if you don't make time for what you want to work on so you get you where you want to be, you're not going to get you where you want to be. Does that make sense? Because somebody's like, I don't have time to read. Well, if you don't have time to read, you're saying you don't have time to grow. And that means you're going to be stuck where you are. In the simplest form.
Yo.
I'm too busy. Would the screen time say you're too busy? Does your iPhone screen time say you're too busy? Or does it say you're too occupied with other stuff? Committed to completing. I'm finished. There's a prayer in there. It's a prayer quote I want to leave you with. It's from Sir Francis Drake. It says, disturb us, Lord, when we're too pleased with ourselves. When our dreams have come true because we dream too little. When we arrive safely because we sail too close to the shore. Some of us are like so happy about where we are. And I don't want to tell you shouldn't be happy about progress. But I do want to ask you, are you settling for the level and you got more in you? He said, disturb us when we're too pleased because our dreams came true, but were the dreams too? Was the dream only for the car, the house, and the stuff? And so now that you kind of got some degree of that, you're like, I'm done. And you're like, there's still more in you. You started this, that's great, but there's more in you. You've done this, that's great, but there's more in you. He says, disturb us when we arrive safely because we sail too close to the shore. It's like saying you went swimming and you only went into like 1 foot. And it's like technically you're right. You're not incorrect, but it is incomplete. My prayer for us this year, as we finish 2019, as we take some time to reflect and to consider what it means for you to run strong in 2020, to embrace what God has for you and for us, to embrace the Spirit's promptings, to trust the Spirit's leading, to move as God leads us to do what He's called us to do, to step into another life of living. And I want to invite you on that journey. Some of you probably hear us say all the time next year is that we're getting better every day in every way. There was some doctor, I'll have all the information about him next week. There was this doctor, what was part of his medical practice was he would finish off with his patients. He would tell them to say, in addition to taking their medicine, to say every day, I'm getting better in every way. Because there is power in an affirmation when you believe an affirmation.
Yes.
But you got to believe it. Yeah, you got to believe it. You got to believe there's power in the tongue. Otherwise, you're going to just be saying stuff to be saying. But it's no different than prayer. Some of y'all do prayer to check a box, but you don't pray to give it to God. Compelling promptings. Trust Him. How are you leading me, God? Where are you leading me, God? When was the last time you asked God, God, what do you want me to do next year? You took God on your plans. Did you ask God for His for your life? What do you want me to do? How do you want me to be? Because a lot of our stuff starts with how. I'm telling you in 2020, it needs to start with who.
Come on.
Not just what do you want me to do, who do you want me to be? I need to be better than I was in the past. So Father, we thank you for who you are, what you've done, and what you're doing. I pray that you have your way in our lives, through our lives. We could not do it without you. So we thank you. I pray, God, that you stir up the gifts within your people. You stir up the gifts within the spiritual family. You allow us to lead, to steward, and to carry out that which you're calling us to. Thank you in advance. It's in Jesus' name. I thank you for your faithfulness this year. Lord, you've been so good. Everything has been how we wanted it to be, but you've been a good God. We got to say thank you. Have your way. It's in Jesus' name. Amen.